The Cosmos would like to thank our title sponsor, Mediacom Communications, the leading cable provider for the Mid. Cosmos fans, the Cosmos that partner with Street Soccer USA. 100% of today's teams will go to Street Soccer USA and their New York City Youth Soccer program. If your standings goes at halftime, we will be raffling them off with special Cosmos items.
You up.
Good, good.
Inaria is the proud partner and official provider of Cosmos gear for the 2018 season. Please visit inariasoccer.com for all of your soccer
merchandise needs. Dress like the Cosmos and Inaria merchandise.
Oh, really?
Peak Performance is proud the official physical therapy provider for the New York Cosmos. Peak Performance, keeping the Cosmos in the game. share our stories with your friends. You'll stay up to date on all new Cosmos happening on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. Hospital for Special Surgery is where the world comes to get back in the game. The hospital is ranked number one in the nation for orthopedics by U.S. News and World Report. No wonder the Hospital for Special Surgery is the official hospital of the New York Cosmos. For more information, please visit hss.edu/sports.
Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. Now I'm down in Tribeca, right next to the Narrow. But I'll be hood forever. I'm the new Sinatra. And since I made it here, I can make it anywhere. Yeah, they love me everywhere. I used to cop in Harlem. All of my Dominicanos right there up on Broadway. Pulled me back to that McDonald's. Took it to my stash spot, 560 State Street. Kept me in the kitchen like the Simmons with the pastry. Cruising down A Street, off-white Lexus. Driving so slow, but BK is from Texas. Me, I'm up at Bed-Stuy. Home of that boy Biggie. Now I live on Billboard, and I brought my boys with me. Say what up to Tata, still sipping my shot. She's a courtside, niggas in that give me high five. I be spiked out, I could trip a referee. Tell my attitude, grab a hold, get
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rocco Vincenzo Soccer Stadium for today's national premier soccer league Northeast Region final matchup between FC Motown and your New York Cosmos. Ladies and gentlemen, we announce you please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem.
Welcome to tonight's starting 11. First from the visiting team.
Dominant teams in the NPSL's Northeast Conference all season long square off for the regional title. It's the New York Cosmos B and FC Motown trying to advance and earn the #1 seed in the NPSL National Semifinals, squaring off tonight at Columbia. Good evening, everybody. Cold, windy night, rain approaching. Jonathan Yardley and Christian Dyer with you. And Christian, as guys who follow soccer in the New York, New Jersey area, this matchup has been on the cards in a way since April, since May, when these teams started their NPSL campaign.
Well, it's two teams that are obviously very familiar with each other when you look at the fact that a lot of these guys played against each other, whether it was in the local ranks coming up through high school, Olympic development team, club teams, colleges. There's a lot of familiarity here, and I'll tell you what, talking from some of the Cosmos players and FC Motown players, they're up for it on each side.
FC Motown comes in 11-1-1 in NPSL play this year. And this is a team that's in its first year under this brand after merging with Clarkstown. There's a few recognizable names on here, former pros, Julius James and Dilly Duca among them.
Yeah, Duca's obviously the catalyst in the final third, played a bit as a false nine in the Wednesday win, 3-0 win over FC Baltimore, 6 goals on the year for Motown.
They're under the head coach Sachi Hott, former homegrown player for the New York Red Bulls. And FC Motown got here as the Keystone Conference champions. They beat Baltimore 3-0 in the regional semifinals on Wednesday. And the New York Cosmos be unbeaten 12-0-1. They're the last unbeaten team in the NPSL. North Atlantic Conference champions. They got here with a 2-0 win over FC Frederick on Wednesday night. And the New York Cosmos B starting lineup has become very familiar. Zaire Bartley really has been the standout offensively in this postseason.
Yeah, 4 goals in 3 playoff games. We saw him come in, the impact he had against Elm City a week and a half ago, the way that he played there. And Jalen Brown, as well as Darwin Espinal, maybe switching on the wings. They're 2 dynamic players, bring some width to sometimes what can be a very narrow Cosmos B attack.
These guys are used to playing in heat as they have most of July, but it has cooled off in the city tonight. Rain anticipated, the wind already picking up, expected to play a factor in this game. As the New York Cosmos be 12-0-1 in NPSL play. The highest remaining seed in the NPSL playoffs take on the team that really has been their closest competition in the area, and certainly in the NPSL region most of the season, FC Motown. Columbia University, Rocco B. Camiso Soccer Stadium, the site tonight. One of 4 regional finals going on in the NPSL. We'll try to keep you posted on the other games and what that means for next week's semifinals. But again, the winner of this game will be the #1 seed. They will reseed the semifinal matchups based on regular season points per game. And these teams were absolutely dominant. The Cosmos outscoring their opponents 47-11. Motown even better, 48-7. Underway in the NPSL Northeast Regional Final. The top 2 teams in this part of the country in the amateur game. FC Motown in the neon highlighter yellow, and the New York Cosmos B in green and white, squaring off for a spot and for the #1 seed in the NPSL semifinals. Alongside Christian Dyer, I'm Jonathan Yardley. And again, we've been looking forward to this one, so have fans in the area for a long time. Jalen Brown for the Cosmos onto the ball early, crosses deflected, almost ran to the penalty spot. Still alive for the Cosmos. Brown got a shot, it was blocked by Reardon. Matt Nigro comes away with it.
And Nigro is such an important player for FC Motown, really goes both ways. Doesn't have a whole lot of mobility, but good on the ball, makes smart decisions, and a linchpin there in the midfield in terms of their shape.
Wojcik, the target, couldn't come up with it. Chris Reardon does come onto the ball, but stumbled as FC Motown tries to find its footing, literally, in the early going. John Neeskins, the Cosmos left back, finds Danny Jatella, the captain. Wojcik got a shot away. It was blocked by Hani Nasser and out for a corner kick. Christian, for all the plaudits and the dominance FC Motown has had this year, you could see right away it is an adjustment taking on a team of this caliber.
And this is a Motown team that's going to be coming in, sitting back, looking to absorb the pressure. Katona's got some pace up top, and then Dilly Duca isolated on the left wing. Played a little bit further up in the last match against Baltimore. Now it's going to be more of an outlet in the midfield for Motown.
First corner kick of the game, targeting Wojcik. It's over everybody at the back post. Kept in there, this is Jitella. Gets the cross in with the left, headed out by Chris Katona, the Motown forward, helping to defend the corner kick. That'll be a free kick for Motown. Cosmos still without Bledy Bardic. He's not available even off the bench, their leading scorer, due to the hamstring injury. And again, Macklin Robinson, the goalkeeper, has been out, but Darwin Espinal now good to go for a third straight game. Motown is without the normal left back Mitch Lurie. He's replaced by Andreas Cronus. Very impressive pedigree. Hunter Freeman played with them in the Open Cup, but really didn't figure with them in their NPSL season. And otherwise it is mostly all hands available for Motown.
Freeman would have been a great storyline here, playing against his old team.
Nigro crossing back post. Maxi Garcia chasing it. Duca starting in the middle today. Maxi Garcia wide left. Those spots have been reversed at times and will switch up even throughout this game. Julius James plays it forward. Duca finding the run of Garcia. Jonathan Barajo tracked it for New York. Bartley and Brown interchange. This is Jalen Brown, the second-year man, with some space. Brings in Espinal. Low cross held by Cabo Danso in the Motown goal. 30-year-old native of the Gambia. Danso plays for Lansdowne Boys, one of the great amateur clubs, including in the Open Cup this year. But in the NPSL, able to step up and play with FC Motown. He's a big pickup for them.
And good movement here from the Cosmos in the midfield. Brown interchanging with Bartley in the midfield to get some space, laying it out wide. I think that there's going to be some opportunities here for the Cosmos B against a Motown team that has some players who are very comfortable with the ball. Maybe not the most athletic team, maybe not the fastest team out there. Cosmos B, especially with Bartley and Brown, as well as Espinal on the wings, can be very dangerous with their interchange.
Motown, its first year under this moniker. It was actually founded as a rec league team back in 2012, but they've won 5 straight Garden State Soccer League championships, merged with the Clarkstown Eagles, who had been to 2 conference finals in 4 years, losing to the Cosmos in 2015, the Cosmos B, and losing to the Elm City Express last year with a lot of the same players. Katona and Danso were in that Clarkstown team, so was Reardon, that lost the conference final to Elm City last year. But it is now under the Motown name and playing out of New Jersey.
And you look at players like a Dilly Duca that they were able to bring on board, was with the Columbus Crew and New York Red Bulls last year.
Zaire Bartley with his back to goal. Nasser trying to close him down. This is Neeskens. Trying to step around Walter Calderon. He won it. This is Dilly Duca. Still in his late 20s. Making a good run up the middle. Duca closed down at the last second by Garrett Halfhill for the Cosmos.
And as important as Duca is for FC Motown to their attack, Julius James in the back, 12 times capped by Trinidad and Tobago's national team, dozens upon dozens of appearances both at MLS and NASL level, experienced player, man of the match for them last Wednesday in the 3-0 win over FC Baltimore.
Yeah, it's interesting. Usually you think of a team with professional players like the Cosmos as the more experienced group. The average age is older for FC Motown, 27.5 of the starters, than the Cosmos.
That was the math you were doing before the match.
That's a good chance, and Jalen Brown couldn't get it on target. The officials deciding, and they say no deflection, it's just a goal kick.
Again, another attack here coming down the right wing. We've seen this now a couple times so far. The Cosmos B favoring that. One of those opportunities there when you're in alone, especially on Danso, got to put that one on frame, especially with those storm clouds moving in.
Motown was 9-0 in the Keystone Conference, as were the Cosmos. They were jockeying for top seed in the region based on goal differential until the last game of the regular season, and Motown lost that one to Westchester United, a team that has given them fits this year, went to shootouts in their other 2 meetings. And that is the reason we're playing at Columbia and not at Drew University in Madison. And FC Motown wanted that home game. They were not happy to lose the regular season finale. It's their only real blemish this year. Lost in the Open Cup to a professional team, Penn FC, but not before leading 1-0 into the final 15 minutes. Good footwork there. Reardon gets it away in the direction of Calderon. He's one of the youngsters, just turned 22 in May. Some said he's the best player in the Cosmopolitan Soccer League, where so many of these guys play during the school year. And that was at the age of 21. Nasser, a doctor, didn't play college soccer, but has excelled at the top level. Started this one, it finds Calderon one-on-one. He's been looking forward to that chance. He rifles one just high. Good chance for Motown in the early going.
And Calderon starting out there on that right flank, cutting in, using his left foot, just inches over. And I think Tenho had a good job covering that there, but really good ball movement here. And this is going to be the key for Motown against a good, solid team. Patience in the final third, really not far from going up 1-0 on that one.
Calderon has been the player of the playoffs offensively for Motown. A goal and 2 assists against Monmouth. He did all the hard work to set up Reardon's goal against Baltimore on Wednesday. 22-year-old native of El Salvador, used to play in the Red Bulls Academy. Cosmos, though, attacking here. Good ball for Wojcik, caught him on the forehead. Donso and Wojcik avoid each other, and Donso comes up with the ball.
Yet another good opportunity coming down the right flank from Cosmos B.
Donso targets Katona, the big blonde figure battling with Halfhill. Second ball falls to Rafa Garcia, back in the starting lineup for the Cosmos after serving a red card suspension. Sent off here against Brooklyn in the conference final just a week ago. 4th playoff game in 11 days for both of these teams. They hope their next break is with a purpose, a full week off before playing the national semifinal. The other region finals going on tonight. Miami FC 2 hosting the Little Rock Rangers, who used a GoFundMe page to pay for their travel to get there, or at least part of it. That game already underway in Miami. AFC Ann Arbor, which has only given up 4 goals all year, hosting Duluth FC in Michigan. And later tonight, Orange County FC, coached by Paul Caligiuri, hosting Mulhouse Portland in the West Final. We're in the Northeast. We're at the tip of Manhattan. 10th minute, no score between the New York Cosmos B in green and FC Motown in highlighter yellow.
Good job there from the Cosmos breaking that pressure.
They're looking for the speed of Bartley. He's been dominant this postseason. 4 goals in 3 games. Donso confident with his feet. Clear out of the back by Julius James. This is Reardon, 31-year-old, played college soccer at Monmouth. A couple of Monmouth guys here. Nigro in the starting lineup, his younger brother David on the bench. Nobody chasing Nasser's long ball, and Penzini heads it back to Kevin Tainho. Tainho up to 3 shutouts now on the year, and was the hero of the shootout win over Brooklyn on this field a week ago. Both teams got by their conference final on penalty kicks, and then had an easier time against Mid-Atlantic teams in the region semifinals. That falls to Jatella in the box. Pass was between two players. This is Zaire Bartley. Fires it on the right. It hit Julius James in the gut. He blocked another shot and now shields the ball, hoping that Donso will pick it up. And FC Motown gets a foul called out of it.
And a couple little dicey moments there for FC Motown. Julius James, I think, taking a ball to a very delicate region right now. Twice standing there for FC Motown, but need a little bit of better communication there with Danso. Needs to be coming off his line with clarity.
How about Jules having the presence to keep his hands behind his back for that whole thing, even after taking the first one in an unfortunate spot? Julius James played with Sacramento last year after 4 good years in the NASL, won Soccer Bowl with San Antonio, and you mentioned his MLS experience. And that's been a big difference. Sachi Hatt, the Motown head coach, has told us Garden State Soccer League, they win games high scoring. They just bludgeon people and go forward, and if they give up a goal, no biggie. Defense has been one of their calling cards actually in the NPSL with James and Nasser at the back.
Yeah, James and Nasser have really formed a nice little duo right there. Nasser being named to the Keystone 11 for his performances throughout the regular season. I think you could probably make the argument that James deserves to be up there too.
Well, if they let you nominate more than one player at one position from one team, he would be. You're right.
That's why I said I think he can make the argument.
You can make a good one. So we've told you a bit about FC Motown. They're coming in to take on the Cosmos tonight. New York Cosmos B, again, has been dominant much of the year. The only team they haven't dominated really was Brooklyn Italians in the playoff game against the Elm City Express. They're on the front foot early in this one. Barajo will take the throw-in. Carlos Mendes, straight from being the team's captain and retiring as a player to being the head coach of what is now the flagship team, at least for this year, of Cosmos B. Espinal, pressured there by Cronus, and eventually commits a foul. It'll be a free kick for Motown. Should mention Brian Di Paolo, the referee, Richard Zayas, Alexandru Focea, the assistants, Jared Simons, the fourth official. It's always a good thing when you haven't really had a reason to call the refs' names in the first 14 minutes. This is Nasser, high school standout at Freehold Township High School on the Jersey Shore, but again, focused on his medical school, never played competitive soccer at a higher level until this NPSL run for Motown. Wojcik brought the ball down well off his chest. Finds Jalen Brown looking for a great run from Jitella. Trying to close him down. Cronus got to him at the end. And the signal comes for a corner kick.
Important intervention there from Cronus. Jitella seems to be pushing a little bit higher up in this match, perhaps, than in the past. Garcia covering some of that space behind, but what a delicate touch over the back line. Well timed. Cronus doesn't make that. Jitella's putting that shot on goal.
Jalen Brown with the pass. Danny Jitella, the captain, 6 goals on the year. One of those trying to attack this corner. Donso comes for it, punches. Brown will collect on the far side. Rafael Garcia, first time ball. There were 2 Cosmos there, neither came up with it. They're hoping to spring Duca on the counterattack here. Cosmos with both outside backs, covering confidently. John Neeskins couldn't bring that one in. It'll be a Motown throw-in.
Haven't heard too much from Neeskins, a player who really likes to push forward, spread some crosses, and has very good movement in the final third for an outside back. So much of the Cosmos B attack so far has been going down that right channel.
This is Zaire Bartley. Jitella the up, back, and through, looking for Jalen Brown. He'll get there isolated against Nasser. Back to Bartley. Tricking his way through to Zaire Bartley, punched away by Cabo Donso. The first big save of the game.
And no sooner do I say so much of the attacks coming down that right flank and those right channels than Danso being tested, a ball that came in from the left side.
That cross was deflected off of Espinal. It'll be a Motown throw-in.
Really good individual movement here from Bartley, receiving that pass, taking the touch, fights off a little bit of a tug on the shirt, and then Danso doing well, extending fully to his left.
Zaire Bartley, a 98 birthday, so he's just 20. So good one-on-one, and really put some pressure on there. Player down now for the Cosmos. I believe it's Barajo. And he'll get some medical attention early in this first half.
And just touching on Bartley for a minute, he's a player who we saw brings an awful lot of speed, good individual 1v1 abilities, but also has a pretty nice...
Of their NPSL campaign. There's Zaire Bartley, 20-year-old from the Bronx. Again, only one start in the regular season, only one goal. This is a second straight start in the postseason after he made the difference off the bench, both against Elm City in the conference semis, scoring the clinching goal, and really against Brooklyn here in the conference final, scoring the tying goal and converting in the shootout. So he got a start on Wednesday. What did he do? Scored twice to beat FC Frederick as the offside flag goes up against Wojcik. See Julius James shouting instructions. He's been a coach on the field in many ways for this FC Motown back line. A lot of consistency in the Cosmos lineup, and Wojcik is the only player to start every game they've played this year. But the goals have started to run dry a little bit here in the postseason for him. Just had the winning goal against Elm City, which feels like a while ago. It was only a week and a half. And a free kick for Motown here. Rafael Garcia and the Cosmos can't believe it. Dangerous spot for the New Jersey-based club. So Dilly Duca will deliver this from Montville, New Jersey. He's actually the only player from Morris County on this Motown team. Only 28, he'll turn 29 in September and still has professional aspirations. He sends it in. Julius James is there and couldn't get the header on target. Reardon and Barajo fought for the rebound, and it'll be a goal kick. Golden opportunity off the free kick.
Yeah, well swung in delivery there from his right foot from Duca, placing it right on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Tenho needing to come out. Kind of caught a bit in no man's land there early on. I think Motown, if they're going to have to make a statement at some point in this game, probably going to come off a set piece. And Duca, as he's shown throughout this season for Motown, has been very successful in dead ball situations.
And Julius James, you saw the vertical leap on that play that we've seen for years in the pro ranks. He still got it. That's poked away by the rookie Danny Cordero out of NJIT. Began the year as a right back, has been pushed into that holding mid-roll to cover a lot of ground. He did cough the ball up there, though. Pass ran too far for Espinal. Matt Nigro can hit a great long ball, picks out Calderon. Good tackle by Neeskins to win it and start the other way.
Good tackle, an important tackle.
Nutmegs Nigro, gets it to Jalen Brown. Reardon into a hard tackle. Pace is starting to pick up. Here's Duca.
And look at the space vacated by Neeskins down that left flank, and where's Motown going?
Calderon with the cross, and Katona was late to get there. That'll be a goal kick.
And that's going to be something that I think Cosmos B is going to have to watch. Neeskins, who's so dangerous pushing forward up that left channel, when he leaves behind, there's going to be space there for Calderon and also for Katona when he kind of sprays out onto that side to be able to make balls in front of what would then be a three-man back line.
Garrett Halfhill, another young professional playing out of the back, picked off by Cordero, who wants to play in the professional ranks. Just got his engineering degree. Panzini able to pick off that pass, though. No foul call. Looked like Cordero had tripped up Jalen Brown. Instead, Motown holds it. Calderon called for the foul going head-to-head against Neeskens. Referee going to come over to make sure, and he will give it to the Cosmos. Calderon, fiery character. Got a couple of those on the Motown side. Sent off in the Open Cup for spitting at a player in May. You learn from that, you hope. This is Alejandro Penzini. Danso was coming for that, but James headed it away anyway. It will be a throw-in for the New York Cosmos. 23rd minute, scoreless in the Northeast Region Final. Cosmos B in green, FC Motown in neon. That's played to the near post, and it ran through Nasser with Cabo Danso, the goalkeeper, calling him off. Win his first 4.5 games of the season without allowing a goal. As you see some of the Cosmos support here in Manhattan tonight. It's a busy schedule, 4 games in 11 days for the players. It's busy for the fans too, Christian, and they've made it out at just about every opportunity.
And you look at a team like Motown or some of the teams that we've seen over the past couple weeks who may not regularly train together, becomes a very...
Katona was kept onside by Neeskens. Chris Katona with the left foot. It's blocked by Tainho, and he keeps the Cosmos level right now.
A good ball sent in there. Neeskens just trailing just a little bit, keeping Katona there onside, going in one-on-one. We saw on Wednesday night with Motown against FC Baltimore that they got a number of opportunities running those lanes, understanding the channels, going one-on-one on the keeper, weren't able to put it away. Going to have to do that at some point tonight if they're going to beat Cosmos B.
Player down behind the play. It's Barajo again for the Cosmos. As you look at Kevin Tainho, Colombian-American, stoning Chris Katona, who's maybe the best amateur goal scorer in this part of the country. He leads the best league in New Jersey and the best league in New York in scoring during the season. So Barajo still receiving treatment. It'll be 10 players for the New York Cosmos defending Motown's first corner kick. Duca's delivery, not up to his normal standard at the near post. Wojcik missed it, and the Cosmos were able to get off the hook and clear. Barajo up at the 4th official and gets permission to come back on, so we're even up 11 against 11. Duca cuts past Espinal. He can kind of keep his head up the whole time because he's confident he can handle most defenders.
But look how far Duca's having to drop back sometimes to get that ball in those spots. He looks fit, though.
This is Andreas Cronus, who was committed to play here at Columbia out of high school, but instead signed with AEK Athens at the age of 18. Never played for him, got loaned out a bunch, and Cronus back. First start of the playoffs at left back, again because Mitch Lurie, another former pro, got injured on Wednesday night. Another free kick for the Cosmos, or beg your pardon, for FC Motown. To Julius James and Hani Nasser, the center backs, up there again. Duca's delivery didn't get to Julius James. It was Barajo defending. Maxi Garcia, former Seton Hall captain, will win a throw-in. Yeah, Katona can reach the penalty area. He wants to throw this himself. Cronus says, "You're really big. You go run in there, and I'm going to throw it to you."
Well, it worked. They earned a corner kick. Yet another corner kick for FC Motown.
So we saw the first 5 or 10 minutes, Christian, that Cosmos seemed to have the upper hand, but FC Motown has adjusted back into the game.
I think they got their shape down a little bit more. They certainly want to pressure those two kind of central midfielders for Cosmos B, Zatella and Garcia.
finally cleared by Rafael Garcia for the Cosmos. Chance to counter. Danny Cordero, the only guy back. Awkward pass to Danso, who is able to get it to midfield. Nigro battling with Jalen Brown, wins it to Garcia. Found the feet of Bartley. Opportunity for the Cosmos. Jatella's pass was picked off, and again, Danso will clear. Barajo has been injured twice in the first half. Appears good to go. We'll have a throw in on that right side. That cross floated on Danso, but floated past the back post. It'll be a goal kick. All right, so Motown's made adjustments, Christian. What can the Cosmos do in turn to reassert some of their dominance and find some possession, find some chances in the latter portion of the first half?
I think Cosmos B is certainly going to be able to find their opportunities when they win the ball and move forward with numbers. They've been a little too slow, a little bit too deliberate. We saw that a week and a half ago, the match that we called against Elm City, where in the first half, Cosmos B looked slow. When they came out in the second half, moved the ball a little bit faster into space, sitting in those pockets. I think getting Neeskins involved down that left side is going to be important. And Jonathan Barajo, who ended the season so well for Cosmos B, a couple of assists in the regular season finale win that they had. I think it's going to be important to get a little bit more width to this team, because right now I think Motown's adjustments that they've made, playing a little bit of a higher line, pressuring those two holding midfielders for Cosmos B, is kind of taking them out of their rhythm a little bit.
That was over hit in the direction of Calderon. It'll be a Cosmos B throw-in for Neeskins. Jalen Brown, 23-year-old, second-year pro. It's off the head of Bartley. Yeah, Danso doesn't want to play it on his left. Goes forward with the right.
And Barajo is such an important player for Cosmos B, not just defensively, what he brings, his experience having played in Europe with the New York Red Bulls in MLS, but also moving forward in that final third. 6 assists in 2 years with Miami FC, overlapping, being able to hit a good cross, being able, I think, to get him and a little bit more of his movement involved, overlapping, could really open things up for Cosmos B.
Great control and touch by Dilly Duca to keep that one for Motown. This is Calderon, chance to hit it with the left, cleanly blocked. Second ball, finds Duca in the corner. Against Barajo, they've known each other a long time. And that one's out for a Motown corner.
And just want to give a little bit of a shout out to Peter Schwartz, who for so many years has done the announcing for the New York Cosmos here. Had hip surgery this week, is recovering. Listening to the call, I know as big of a New York Cosmos fan as there is, and hopefully Peter will be recovered and will be back on his feet soon and playing football and soccer with his 2 boys.
That was Julius James meeting it at the near post, but absolutely correct, Christian. We miss Peter here tonight.
He's a good guy. And I remember talking with Peter in the New York Jets press box in Florham Park, and is it true? Do you think the Cosmos are coming back? He was talking about that for years. No one was more excited they were back, and when he got to do the calls on the mic, I think he was thrilled.
Thought Espinal was offside to begin that, but he didn't get the flag called, and Jatella rifled that one over as it fell to him at the top of the box.
Again, a bit better here from Cosmos B, and they've looked better as they move the ball quickly, being able to catch FC Motown in transition. This one here, Espinal playing it across James, just being able to clear, and Jatella, a little daring right there to one-time hit. Better from Cosmos B.
Danny Jatella, when he made his comeback, it was with a Morris County-based team, Icon FC, playing with Dilly Duca's younger brother. And we've seen Danny Jatella out at some Motown games, seeing familiar faces earlier this year. Now he sees them as an opponent. One of his proteges, Bartley, in for Espinal. Turns, get his feet set, left-footed shot, whistles wide. They are starting to get a few more chances from New York Cosmos green.
Well, it's been fits here for the New York Cosmos in the final third. Again, when they're able to move and find those little pockets, there will be opportunities. It's a matter of being able to move the ball fast enough and catch FC Motown stretched out. So far, to their credit, I think Motown's done a good job of maintaining their space, but they're going to be susceptible, especially with some of the speed out wide for the Cosmos and the movements and overlapping of the outside backs.
Penzini with a good winner. And Barajo able to track down this long ball. Back to Tainho. Into the middle, nobody there in green. Matt Nigro won it for Motown, but couldn't connect with a teammate. Penzini out of Adelphi, his pass forward. Wins a throw in for the Cosmos.
Yeah, Penzini, the Adelphi via St. John's transfer.
I didn't say it was a direct route.
No, but he's been very important for this team. And I know when we talked a couple weeks ago about this Cosmos team, you talked about Penzini. Very important to their shape. Also very important in the final third with some timely goals.
Oh, the footwork from Duca. You can see they're trying to find him at every opportunity. And he just couldn't find the last pass that time.
Yeah, very clever there from Duca, just cutting back a couple times. But so much of what FC Motown's been able to do this year has been channeled through Duca, a player who's able to play outside in the Open Cup, played a couple times more of like a number 10 type of role. Captain tonight for FC Motown. Also playing up top as a bit of a false nine in this past playoff game. So important for what this team does.
Yeah, they scored 3 goals in the Open Cup. Dilly Duca scored every one of them. He's in on goal here, and Halfhill was able to close him down. That's twice Garrett Halfhill has been able to match Dilly Duca for positioning, at least at the last minute. You mentioned these being the top amateur teams in the area. The New York Red Bulls under-23 team is still involved in their playoffs, but that's the team FC Motown beat in the Open Cup. Lansdowne Boys, Brooklyn Italians, also teams you would mention in that conversation. Ten minutes to play in the first half. No score between FC Motown and the New York Cosmos B in the NPSL Northeast Regional Final. Big stops on each side. Zaire Bartley was saved back in the 17th minute by Cabo Donso. And Kevin Tainho stoned Chris Katona in the 24th minute. That was Motown's best chance. Offside flag up yet again against Wojcik. It's good for 4 of those a game.
Oh, Wojcik brings a lot more mobility than you might think from someone who's kind of quote-unquote a target striker. He's got a soft touch. Finishing has always kind of been the issue this year for him. He kind of gets hot for a couple games and then will go through spells where it's difficult for him to find the back of the net. But he's certainly an important player in the hold-up, but also his movement and the way he provides himself as a reliable outlet in the final third.
Motown with the switch in the direction of Reardon, the right back. Calderon battling with Neeskens. He beat him that one time early to get a shot off, and since then, John Neeskens has really had his number. That pass went awry. It'll be a Motown throw. Motown is from Morristown, county seat of Morris County, about an hour away by car. You probably do it in less. depending on the traffic, of course.
I don't drive like old lady Yardley.
Little softball for you there.
I need one every once in a while.
They play their home games in the next town over of Madison at Division III Drew University.
Yeah, one of the best soccer programs at the Division III level in the nation. Also, the home of the Irish national team in the 1994 World Cup.
I thought they trained at Pingree.
That was Italy.
Ah.
Come on, you think Charlie Stilantano would let Italy train just anywhere? Charlie Stilantano, of course, a famous name in the New York, New Jersey soccer scene, and
right now, especially.
Well, yeah, was in charge of the Meadowlands for the '94 World Cup.
Champions Cup kicked off yesterday. This will be a goal kick for Motown.
Timothy Weah scoring a goal.
Yeah.
Nice goal.
And Chris Richards playing for Bayern Munich. Dallas Loney. Cabo Danso, hero of the Amateur Cup final last year. Again, big coup for Motown to get him as the goalkeeper. Already called into action once tonight and handled the ball numerous other times. We told you the wind would be a factor. I don't know that it's directly in anyone's favor. More of a side-to-side wind at the moment. Saw that one drift down a little bit, though. We'll see what it does in the second half. Calderon playing it through. Katona battling with Penzini. Shouldered him off. Not going to get that call, Chris Katona, and Cosmos will go the other way.
Yeah, Penzini, very important moment in interception there. A little bit of veteran savvy, stepping in, using the shoulder. Delicately, not so delicately. I think Chris Katona might make an argument on that one, but it was certainly an important moment for the Cosmos.
Katona's a Division III player, Richard Stockton College, and he's 27. He had 5 goals this year. Duca led the way with 9 in 9 games. And a little injury issue at the end of the regular season, sat out a couple, including a playoff game. Good to go tonight. Garcia leaves it for Danny Cordero. Ran into trouble, he's frustrated. Nasser bangs it forward. Penzini trying to hold it for the Cosmos. Nigro, though, gets it the other way with Max Garcia. Looking for the speed of Katona. Has a half step on Penzini. Trying to battle physically, still going, and now Katona called for the foul.
Yeah, winning those second balls is going to be a big challenge for Cosmos B. FC Motown coming in, stepping up, and really fighting for those opportunities.
Here's Garcia. Everything that Duca is for Motown, Garcia is for the Cosmos, just on a deeper side of the ball. Neeskin's driven ball. Julius James heads away. That's turned over to Jalen Brown. On the move, into the penalty area, still Jalen Brown. Tried to pass it, looking for Espinal. Motown able to clear it. Jatella does find Darwin Espinal. His shot takes a deflection out for a corner. Terrific pass by Jatella there, out of the chaos to find some open space.
And buff for a little bit of a slip there on that right side from Espinal. That one might have been going on frame, but again, better from Cosmos B. When they were pressuring, bad turnover right there. Jatella with that quick pass, as you mentioned, springing things.
Neeskin's the left back all the way over to deliver the corner. Fourth corner kick for the Cosmos. Halfhill keeps it alive. Wojcik got a shot off, not cleared yet. And Wojcik apparently brought it down with a hand, I believe is the call.
Yeah, a deep ball there going into the very back part of the 6-yard box, cleared off the end line there.
Or did they call for a high kick maybe that he caught James? It was.
There was a collision.
The Cosmos are still arguing the call. I thought it should have been a corner. I think Wojcik and I agree on this one. Julius James still trying to make sure his feet work right. Second ball won by Duca for Motown. Quickly closed down by Wojcik. He won it. Cordero broke that up for Motown. There you see the fresh legs.
And Cordero brings a very high work rate there. As you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Jonathan, a former outside back, somebody who's now been into the midfield, really kind of goes from box to box in that type of role. Very important for the midfield shape of FC Motown.
Usually when you go up a level, you go back a spot on the field. You go from center mid to outside back, or whatever the switch may be. Cordero trying to go up a level in class and up a level in difficulty in that deep role. They won't ask him for a ton of passing. It's clean up everything defensively and move it to Nigro, to Duca, and the others.
And they're fortunate they have a player in Nigro who also brings a tremendous work rate, keeps things very simple, really has done a good job in terms of being able to clean things up to allow Duca to drift into those dangerous spots throughout the year.
Neeskins looking for the run of Bartley. Nasser able to body him off for a Motown goal kick. Chances have settled down since the first 25 minutes. Which team does that benefit, if either, as we near the half?
Well, as the game slows down even more, that's certainly going to help a Motown team that I think is taking up a bit of a more defensive posture, looking to move forward and kind of counter press when those opportunities present themselves. But slowing down the game is always going to hurt a Cosmos team that thrives on tempo, quick movement.
Penzini whistled for the foul there in the ongoing battle with Chris Katona. Motown restarts short with Matt Nigro, one of their all-conference players. Comes back to him. Duca on the turn got the better of Rafael Garcia, not for the first time tonight. Battle of former MLSers and guys who were just in the league last year. Calderon for Motown. Runs the end line, loves this spot. Couldn't get through Garrett Halfhill, who gets it away to Wojcik, quickly closed down by Cordero. Cronus, the left back, tried to get it to Katona, weren't quite on the same page. Penzini got there for New York. Goes early, Bartley wasn't making the run.
Cosmos just a little bit disjointed right now, not stringing together the passes. The movement seems off. They're not moving together. They're not in sync. Defensively, they're doing a good job, I think, Jonathan, of keeping everything in front of them. But right now, really just those breakdowns are coming in their build-up play.
Calderon closed down by 2, wins a free kick. Yeah, I mean, Motown's spraying it around right now. They're switching the field, moving the ball back, up and through. Not exactly what Carlos Mendez was looking for as the half approaches. 1 minute of stoppage time is the signal. We're into it now. Halfhill headed it into the middle. Wojcik turned it over. One back by Katona. Calderon. Cleared for Bartley. Nasser again safely back to Danso.
About 30 seconds of stoppage time. 30 seconds left.
Nigro long with the left foot. Katona the target. Chested it down for Dilly Duca. One last crack for Motown. Duca to his left foot. Tries to go end line. He can't believe that the official didn't see a touch off the Cosmos. It'll just be a goal kick.
And I think that was some good group individual defending right there from Cosmos B. Just challenging, shutting down Duca, forcing him, instead of going to goal, having to carry his movement a little bit further wide.
Final action of the first half in the NPSL's Northeast Region Final. The New York Cosmos B and FC Motown scoreless through 45 minutes. Any takeaways or any advantage you saw in the first 45?
Well, very even first half. I think Cosmos B came out a little bit stronger, a little bit dominating, really liked their movement, the pace, the presence that they were playing with. But Motown, after a couple early shaky moments there, did a nice job of settling into the match, playing on the counter, finding their dangerous pieces. Real chess match going on right now between head coach Sashi Hadden for FC Motown and his counterpart Carlos Mendez with the Cosmos.
All right, we'll take a break here. Come back with us in about 14 minutes. Get a snack, do what you need to do. Second half coming your way between the New York Cosmos B and FC Motown. We'll have the out-of-town scoreboard, too. Don't go away.
If someone could bring us a snack, that'd be nice, too.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that. New York Cosmos B nothing, FC Motown nothing at halftime.
I can see what the team is on the play, but it's about an hour. So it's not that. You guys train here? No, we train in Mitchell. Where is that? It's right across the street from us. Yeah, I was talking to Science. Put away for this match. Proper soccer. Yeah, definitely. He's on like USL. Yeah. Most definitely. How's the little one? How's Ryan? Yeah, he's doing. He's at NJIT. Oh, is he? That's great. I think that's something about his season's over. 4 or 5 months. Yeah. That's the bad part. Oh, right. After this over, you gotta go straight. Yeah. He wants to go he's not great. He's on there in the ESL roster. Right. Just with the schedule, the teams, all the other teams in the conference. Right. So we get a game or two. Right. It's great. Alma's there too, right? Yeah, I was talking to him. On the pond is there. Came after yeah, a lot of the PBA players, they all go pro, great colleges, and it's nice. It's a great experience. You were in Italy? Yeah. I was there right out of high school. I graduated and I signed with the second side. I was signed with them. I played 6 games. I was rostered for 12. And I was with the U20s at the time. One time. The second half of the season started. Got a break. I got a call with age at Chesterfield. I signed there. My agent said, I'm no longer with them. It was a decision where a lot of players, the kids I know that were there, are now signed first team. I would have been there another year. I would have signed a contract, first team, guaranteed. But it happened like that. But I have the option of going back. My dad's in Tulsa and a lot of people, and my agent, so it's all a waiting game now. I have the Italian passport, that helps a lot. No signed Gennaro Nigro? Gennaro? Yeah. Where's he roadside? Rome. He's from yeah. That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, Roma's got great. PBA has affiliation with Rome. That's great. I was there in 2017. Oh yeah, at Rome. They were good, right? It was funny, I was taking a video and it never dawned on me. This was February 2017. Ryan's looking at the video, he's like, that's Sal. I didn't realize that he was taking Sal. He made his name for us. Yeah, right after that. When we played Roma, when we played them, actually, Kevin Strutland dropped down to play. Oh, yeah? They had about 5,000 fans that game when that summer. And you had Totti watching, Nainggolan watching the game. It was unbelievable experience. Like those guys. Yeah. And now the this whole Ronaldo thing. Serie A's back. Yeah, I'm so excited. It's a great thing for Italian soccer. Yeah, I'm surprised Gigi left. I know, but he went because I think jersey. PSG buys him, they figure they'll sell jerseys. He's a big name, you know. They'll still go far. So they'll win the league. It's great. Now the second place. I know. Stays. I know. Yeah. Played a lot. Played MLS.
Okay, I understand.
They have a guy from Mom, Dave played from Matt Sheffield. He drafted the Raptors. He's all in the field.
They don't look at it.
They have a lot of They were at the World Cup. Oh, yeah. Travis Dave? Yeah, he was with me. Yeah, he was with me. I think Emmanuel was training with us anyway. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. It's still never changed the style of play. Play those balls into the wind. Now it's going to be another one have to play it on the deck. So your dad said, oh, yeah, it's good seeing you, all right? Take care, Ken.
I mean, for 3 years, you want to be champion.
got that on camera. Get it out, fuck.
Getting ready to start the second half. We go back to some of the best chances from the first half. Danny Jatella firing high after a Darwin Espinal cross. And we had chances from each team on the way through. And FC Motown and the New York Cosmos be scoreless as we get ready to start the second half. This was one of the better looks for New York.
Yeah, and I think New York did some good things in the 18-yard box. Looked a little bit more of the dynamic team. Certainly had the better of the opportunities. in the first half, but those opportunities were spread out few and far between. And I think Dilly Duca right here, probably the most dangerous player on the ball for FC Motown, along with Chris Katona having a couple of half chances. They've had some opportunities, one or two dead ball pieces. You just saw the class, their ability to move the ball a little bit faster. If they can get that opening goal in the second half, I think, Jonathan, this is a game that could break wide open.
Being called for a high kick there, just trying to get a shot off. And the unofficial shot count had the Cosmos be with the better of the first half, 9-3. Only one save for each goalkeeper. And 3 Cosmos corners, 3 Motown corners.
What a save that was, though, from Danso in the FC Motown goal, extending to his left side. Zaire Bartley had some difficulty now settling into the match, opening 10 minutes. After that, I think Motown did a good job of cutting over. Cosmos B can get Bartley heading towards goal with a full head of steam, not having quite as much hold-up play as he did the second part of that first half. I think that could be a real advantage there for the Cosmos because Bartley's in these.
A little bit of rain falling now as the teams get ready to kick off the second half. We'll look for changes for Motown. Emerson Lawrence, former Villanova player, going to come on at halftime in the midfield. We'll wait and see for whom he is entering. That appears to be the only change on either side. It's certainly the only one that's been signaled so far. With Christian Dyer, I'm Jonathan Yardley. We're at Columbia, the Rocco Camiso Soccer Stadium, and the eponymous Cosmos owner is in the house tonight trying to see the New York Cosmos B take the Northeast Region title against New Jersey-based FC Motown, one of the top teams all season long in the NPSL. So Emerson Lawrence in, Danny Cordero off. The halftime adjustment for Sachi Hot and FC Motown. No changes on the Cosmos B side as we get underway in the second half. The #1 seed in the NPSL National Semifinals on the line. It'll be either the Cosmos B or FC Motown, hosting a semifinal next Saturday and winning the right to host the final should they advance as the top seed. Julius James heads away off the long ball. Maxi Garcia turned it over, trying to connect in the middle. This is Rafa Garcia for the Cosmos. Jalen Brown chasing, and Chris Reardon has to play it away.
And rain beginning to come down now a little bit, right to left here. It's going to make things a little bit slicker on that field.
Nieskins throws for Wojcik. Cuts back as the rain intensifies. This is Wojcik. Cross was deflected out for a Cosmos corner. And you could see New York coming out a little bit more aggressive in the second half.
Well, I think it's what New York needs to do. Faster movement, faster pacing of things, and better movement into space. They've got the wide players there, whether it's Brown or Bartley when he drops back and is able to go wide, or the outside back. Needs to be better, more efficient movement from the Cosmos in the second half.
Fourth corner kick of the game, Nieskin's delivery. Too high for Jatella, came back to the corner. And that'll be a Motown goal kick. We promised you an out-of-town scoreboard, so here it is. In the Midwest Region Final, we told you Ann Arbor had only given up 4 goals all year. They're down 3-2 at halftime, hosting Duluth FC, which was the 5th seed out of 6 in that Midwest region. Back and forth first half, Duluth leads Ann Arbor 3-2 at the half. Down in the South Region Final in Miami Gardens, at last check, early second half, Miami FC 2 leads the Little Rock Rangers 2-0. Goals from Jaime Chavez and Dylan Mayers. It'll be no surprise to see Miami FC 2 and New York Cosmos B become 2 of the 4 national semifinalists. So again, that's early in the second half. And the West Region Final later tonight, Orange County FC hosting Mulhouse Portland. Right here, no goals yet between the 2 highest scoring teams in the NPSL during the regular season. Teams averaged 4 goals a game, better than anybody else, but going against each other has limited each offense. Just 1 save for the goalkeepers, 1 on each side here in the second half. Julius James into the tackle, but it stayed with the Cosmos. Finally broken up, but a foul whistled against Reardon and Motown. Cosmos free kick coming.
I'm not sure if you saw a few moments ago, Jonathan, but a soccer celebrity in the house, Damani Ralph, former Chicago Fire, Jamaican international, walking in with an umbrella that I'm not sure he's going to want to have a photo of taken with him.
Hey, you got to find what you can find. 49th minute on the Cosmos restart. Garcia, Wojcik, they try to play a pass behind the defense. Lawrence broke it up, and it's cleared to midfield. Emerson Lawrence, one of the players for Motown that's returning from last year's conference final when they played under the name Clarkstown Eagles. Here's Barajo. Jatella finds Rafael Garcia with some space. Cosmos finding a lot more room here. I know it's only 4 minutes in. They started the first half brightly and starting the second as well. Bartley for the run of Wojcik. Julius James with the adjustment to cover.
Better movement, though, from the Cosmos B, and we're seeing now, as we saw in key moments in the first half, that Danny Jatella seems to be pushing up just a little bit further. Rafi Garcia shading back a little bit, allowing Jatella to move into that final third. Garcia being called upon to cover a lot of space, but neat and tidy in his distribution and so solid in his tackling. I don't know if Garcia gets enough credit for the Cosmos' success this year, but Jatella certainly looks to be playing a bit more up top. Maybe not quite a full diamond midfield for the Cosmos B, but shades of that.
Halfhill switches for Barajo under some pressure. The near side, and Darwin Espinal. He was in very good goal-scoring form when injury hit. Back now and trying to find his finishing touch. Came close a couple of times on Wednesday and had 1 close miss today. Rafael Garcia, just 2 goals on the year from distance against Brooklyn. Leaves it for Espinal with the left foot. Sent it over the top once again.
I like that, though, from Rafa Garcia, sitting in that pocket, carrying the ball forward, and then playing a nice little square ball there to Espinal, who was cutting on inside. Again, faster movement, better movement from Cosmos B in the opening 5 minutes of the second half.
Espinal, 23-year-old, 4th-year pro, turned pro out of junior college. Last year went from playing PDL soccer in the Open Cup to playing professionally with Reno in USL. Hasn't been able to make it stick, though. That one almost fell for Katona. Halfhill's clearance cleared away by Barajo just in front of Duca. Clear trip there. Advantage played for the Cosmos. Wojcik goes forward looking for Zaire Bartley. Julius James back for Donso, the goalkeeper. If you're just joining us, no score, 52nd minute.
With a little bit of a shaky giveaway there from Danso.
1 save for each team so far. Cosmos have had their moments, but so has Motown. That shot closed down quickly. Matt Nigro the other way for Motown. Cosmos B in a 4-4-2. Kevin Tainho, the goalkeeper, running out to take this one. Jonathan Barajo, Alejandro Penzini, Garrett Halfhill, and John Neeskins, the back 4 right to left. Rafael Garcia, Danny Jatella, the center mids. Darwin Espinal on the right, Jalen Brown on the left. Zaire Bartley and Wojcik, the forwards for the Cosmos under Carlos Mendez, the first-year head coach. Bartley too strong with that one, looking for Espinal. On the Motown side, a 4-2-3-1. Cabo Donso, the goalkeeper. Chris Reardon, Hani Nasser, Julius James, Andreas Cronus, the back 4. Emerson Lawrence, Matt Nigro, the holding mids now after the halftime sub. Walter Calderon on the right, Dilly Duca in the middle, Max Garcia on the left. And Chris Katona on the ball is the man up front for Motown. Switch there, runs to the far post. Calderon with the finish. FC Motown got a gift, and they take advantage. Walter Calderon's scoring continues.
Well, very much against the run of play there, Jonathan. We were talking about how Motown's been sitting back here, and a little bit of a gaff right here. Calderon right there coolly finishes it. I think after the first half, Motown felt that they could play in this game, that they knew that they were going to get their chances and their opportunities. Earlier this week against FC Baltimore, it could have been a scoreline that easily could have been 6-7-0, ended up finishing 3-0. This one right here, one of the few good chances they've had in this match, Calderon puts it away.
It was John Neeskens who saw the ball deflect off his boot, go right past him, and fall to Calderon. He's got 2 goals on the year, both of them in the playoffs. Kind of like Zaire Bartley, getting hot at the right time. Both former Red Bulls Academy players, 2 years apart. And Walter Calderon, all of 22, has FC Motown in front on the road in the regional final. Cosmos have played from behind more in this postseason than they did all regular season. And they do so once again here.
And in a very similar match earlier this year for FC Motown in the Open Cup second round against FC Penn. I know it was a match that you called. Motown went up and then had a difficult time closing down matches. Now it's going to be interesting to see on the road in a similar scenario, now having to play out final 35 minutes, exactly how they're going to handle things.
One thing that's very different from that game, Cabo Donso is the goalkeeper. He was not the goalkeeper in the Open Cup run. And while Penn FC had some excellent goals in that game, the first one I think Morristown felt like maybe they could have done better with from a goalkeeping perspective, and so here they are with a 1-0 lead. Again, the Cosmos have seen this before, though, in the postseason. They trailed Elm City, they trailed Brooklyn, really didn't have any issues with Frederick, but trailed in their first 2 playoff games and responded each time.
And what I like to see is Carlos Mendez there on the bench. First year as a head coach, just sitting there calmly. Nothing's changed about him, his demeanor. He knows what his team's about.
Nigro picked the right pass. This is Duca with Max Garcia, and the pass just out of his reach. Clearance drifts away for a Motown throw. Danny Jatella trying to urge his troops on to rally for a 3rd time in 4 games from a deficit. I think against Brooklyn they only trailed for 7 minutes, not that much longer against Elm City. Penzini's header not cleared all the way, but it does fall to Wojcik. Julius James wins it back for Motown. Calderon did good work, then kicked that one out of the stadium, which could earn you a yellow card for delay if it was believed to be intentional. There's a ball right there, so there's no real delay. This is Matt Nigro, 26-year-old, played pro in Iceland. Over the top, finds Katona. He set up the first goal, slipped as he tried to cross that one, and holds a hand up in apology.
Yeah, very similar spot. Darwin Espinal slipped in the first half when he had an opportunity to put one on goal, ended up winning a corner kick.
I actually liked the decision by Tainho to go quickly there because Motown had some numbers forward, but he just missed Espinal. Nasser did well to keep that on the field. Cronus thought he was offside and just lets it go. Walter Calderon with the goal. 53rd minute on a cross that John Neeskens didn't handle and wound up being a wide open look at the back post. This is Emerson Lawrence, the halftime sub, still trying to get settled. Harassing Rafael Garcia and coming up with the ball. Garcia furious, almost went into a hard challenge after that. Nigro got it to Duca. Penzini committed, whistled for the foul, and we'll see if he escapes a yellow card. Brian DiPaolo is thinking about it, and he's going to say, last warning.
I'm not sure there was anything in that one. That was 2 players. It was a little bit of physical play right there.
He was just so late, I thought it would be a yellow. They take the free kick quickly. Duca had a chance to curl that and saw it whip high. No, I didn't think it was a malicious challenge. I just thought it was so late and in the middle of the field that it might be a yellow. None issued so far in this game. No rain in the first half, but it has really picked up in the second, as FC Motown will make its second substitution here. Max Garcia going to come off. And Daryl Kavanaugh going to come on.
Kavanaugh was so big for Motown this past week in the win over Baltimore, scoring not once, but twice.
Well, this is a heck of a guy who played one game in May and then didn't play again the rest of the regular season to add to your team for the playoffs. 31-year-old native of Ireland. Great years in that League of Ireland, which has a couple of professional teams, couple of semi-pro teams with St. Pat's, with Shamrock Rovers, with Cork City. I mean, these are big teams in Ireland. You can debate for yourself what level Ireland is, but Kavanaugh moved to Lansdowne Boys in 2016 and has been a very good player for them. It's a heck of an addition and a heck of a pedigree to add for the playoffs.
Yeah, Kavanaugh and Katona, the two goal scorers for Motown in Wednesday night's win over Baltimore. Now bringing in a player like that off the bench, someone who could play up top, someone who can play in the midfield right now. Looks like he's going to slot in centrally for the time being.
This is Jatella, a little bit deeper than we've seen him. As the outside back, Barajo gets forward on the near side. Penzini to Espinal. Chipped forward for the run of Bartley in the corner with Julius James, the vet. Played at UConn. Nasser able to clear with the right. Blasted long by Nigro for the blazing speed of Chris Katona for FC Motown. Buries a second. Chris Katona strikes. FC Motown, a 2-0 lead on the road. Wow.
Well, very much against the run of play right there, but a ball over the top, and we've seen Cosmos B be a little bit susceptible to this. Katona needing to take a couple touches, but Cooley, the Richard Stockton graduate, buries this one. This is class finishing from one of the best players in the Keystone Conference this year.
Blazing speed, he's a great athlete. Again, we told you he leads both New Jersey and the top league here in New York, the Cosmopolitan Soccer League, in scoring during the regular season. And one reason he's in there, he's a one-man counterattack.
And Cosmos B, I thought, did such a good job to come out positively to start this second half. It looked like they wanted to play through centrally, get the ball out wide in certain occasions, but FC Motown now twice, very much against the run of play, has been able to hit on the counter.
He was FC Motown's first official signing under this name in January. They said he's the best amateur goal scorer in the country. He's backed it up.
This time next year, he might be a paid goal scorer somewhere.
He's 27, from Howell, New Jersey, another one in Monmouth County. He helped set up the first goal when his cross was misplayed. Whether you give him an assist or not is up to you, but he's got the goal that you're not going to take away from him, from Matt Nigro's through ball. 2-0 deficit, not something the Cosmos have faced this year.
No, now we're going to see what the resilience of this Cosmos B team is all about. They've cruised through the regular season with that 10-0 record and gaudy goal differential, but tonight it just seems like this is a team that's had a hard time with sustained pressure, stringing together passes. Their movement, I think, I keep harping on it, but it keeps looking very bland, like they're lacking any imagination, someone in the midfield to take over.
Zaire Bartley with the shot, fumbled by Donso, but he had his body behind it. Bartley was one of the ones who's been the difference maker the first 3 rounds. He started on Wednesday, looked lively, and he gets the shot off there, but didn't have a great angle on it.
Yeah, Nasser's done a nice job there, one of the two center backs along with Julius James, and shutting down Bartley, really frustrating him, making him almost have to post up in this game to receive any kind of service.
And look, Zaire Bartley's 20. He's really fast. He's good with the ball. You'd think it would be a matchup problem for a doctor who's never played competitive soccer. With Julius James' help, he's figured it out.
And he had the best opportunity in the first half, I think you could argue, for the Cosmos, coming in down that left channel, moving in and taking a shot. But since then, he's really been bottled up. He's been frustrated. They've done a good job keeping a body on him and denying service.
The Cosmos throw in on the near side. You would expect Motown to sit in even deeper now with a 2-goal lead. Trying to earn the #1 seed for the NPSL semifinals. Bartley taken off the ball by Nasser. No call that time. Cosmos still arguing it as the ball goes to the other end. Katona over one player. We'll see it bounce wide of goal.
Audacious there from Katona, who's never seen an opportunity on goal that he doesn't like. But going back to that play and that little tussle-up, I think the Cosmos certainly have a very good claim for a foul right there. It was off the ball and a little bit late there.
Rafael Garcia looking for Bartley against Nasser. Body to body, plays it back to Donso, put him in a tough spot, and he blasts it toward the Motown bench. And Neeskens, Garcia saying, what are you thinking? Neeskens played it out to give Motown a throw.
Well, I think that might have been a wet ball and wet turf coming into play there. But from one very dicey moment there, Donso ended up sending the ball on down and earning his team a throw-in and maybe relieving just this little bit of pressure right now that Cosmos are starting to put on this match. You're seeing two things begin to emerge now as I think issues here in this match is we're inching towards the midway point of the second half. One, Cosmos B is really struggling to win that second ball, to be able to sustain that pressure, or defensively to be able to clear their lines. And also creatively in the final third, they're able to find Bartley in spurts here or there, but really there isn't that person in the midfield pulling the trigger, able to deliver that final pass to spring in a player. Motown's playing very compact defensively, not being drawn out wide. When they've been drawn out, Cosmos have found success behind that back line, but Cosmos haven't been able to do that now regularly throughout the second half.
66th minute. Motown 2, Cosmos B nothing. Great exchange there between Wojcik and Bartley, but they couldn't get a clean look out of it. Cleared to midfield. Both goals a little bit against the run of play, but Motown won't care. Good finishes in each instance, to say the least. Walter Calderon the first, Chris Katona the second. Good footwork there. Jatella gets it back from Bartley. Offside flag up against Bartley for the initial pass made by Jatella.
How many times have we called out either Barajo's name or Neeskens' name in the second half? Both of the outside back for the Cosmos B finding it really hard to get themselves overlapping into any kind of space. Both are known for their quality in terms of crossing the ball, being able to hit that pass. I talked about Barajo and what he did in that regular season finale with 2 assists, both down that right-hand side. But right now, I think that they're finding those difficulties really moving forward, getting in sync with any kind of build-up play.
Duca pulling the strings to Kavanaugh. First one-on-one involvement, sends it in with the right foot wide of everybody at the back post. But a little sign of what Daryl Kavanaugh can bring. He's a long way from Tipperary.
Oh, that was unfortunate.
Here's a look back at Kavanaugh with the shimmy
I need a
and
Guinness.
the shot.
I need a Guinness now after that one. Or Carlsberg, I guess. Well, the scoreline hasn't quieted down the supporters here for the Cosmos, who have come out good numbers tonight in the supporters club, banging away on the drums and singing.
Wojcik is onside over there, trying to get around Nasser. Stands him up. Hani Nasser, all-region defender. Now he's down, holding his calf. 27-year-old from Freehold Township, New Jersey, all conference, all region, as the center back partner to Julius James. Meanwhile, Carlos Mendez calls Garrett Halfhill and Rafael Garcia over to the halfway line with some instructions. I mean, they're already in a 4-4-2. They may have to go 3 at the back at some point chasing this one. Yeah. I don't know how often they've worked that.
It's been with, it's a matter of committing numbers into the box with certainty and appropriate timing. And I think a 3-man back line is going to be needed at some point, because those are the best kind of opportunities they've had right now in the second half. Half chances from 20 yards out, 25 yards out.
Cosmos are readying their first substitution as well. Penzini out of the back. Barajo got it ahead for Bartley. And Julius James was there before Bartley could play it for Espinal. It'll be a Motown throw as the Cosmos get the sub in. Wojcik gonna come off, the guy who's started every game here in the 70th minute, and they'll opt for a little bit more speed. Well, this has got to be a formation change. Alexis Villela, a defender, coming on for Wojcik, a forward. I think it's 3 at the back. Either that or he's moving Neeskens up high on the left. They're still trying to sort it out. Taking off your target forward, down 2 goals, surprises me, Christian.
It certainly defies conventional logic, but if we're watching the Cosmos lift the trophy at the end of this match, then Carlos Mendez is going to look like a genius.
It looks like it's just the 4-4-2. Villela to left back, Neeskens to left mid, and Jalen Brown higher up on the field maybe. The leave for Kavanaugh, dummies to himself. Kavanaugh in the box, taken down. It's a no-doubt penalty kick. From bad to worse for the Cosmos. FC Motown on the brink of all but clinching the region championship.
And yet another moment here where the Cosmos being drawn out again on the counterattack. Spatially, their defensive formation is not looking sharp, and Kavanaugh there earning the penalty kick. Big moment here, but very quick from FC Motown. They've been impressive here in the second half. Their movement, their ability to sit in those pockets, play quick touch. They've caught the Cosmos now a couple times stretched out and capitalized on each.
Ball rolled off the spot. It's going to be Dilly Duca, a goal a game this year in all competitions, trying to seal it, maybe with 19 minutes to go. Dilly Duca fires it and converts. FC Motown up starts, up 3-0 on the Cosmos B.
And we talked a few moments ago about that FC Motown Open Cup match in the second round against FC Penn and the difficulty they had going in final 10-11 minutes of that match, up 1-0. They weren't able to kill it. Twice now in the second half after scoring, FC Motown had good, quick, definitive possession leading to 2 goals. This last one delivered Duca, former MLS player, former US under-20 and under-23 player, so influential for FC Motown this year, converting that penalty kick.
If you had Deliver on your bingo card, mark the spot. Danny Jatella and Brian DiPaolo, the referee, not happy with each other as the Cosmos tried to restart quickly. Here is Rafael Garcia. Just one Garcia on the field now that Max Garcia, no relation, was subbed off. Espinal into the area. Here's Jatella trying to will the Cosmos back into it, and again, Hani Nasser is there.
Hadi Nazar as he's been all time, but now some gaps, and FC Motown's going to have to be careful as the Cosmos are looking to throw some more numbers in. Their movement, their passing, even directionally, they're going to become a bit more direct here now with 17, 18 minutes left in this match, plus stoppage time.
Donso comes for this one and catches at the back edge of the 6-yard box. This would shake up the NPSL a little bit. You've seen these two teams at the top of their respective conference standings all season long. But given the Cosmos' history, the expectation was when push came to shove, they would have the better of it.
And you talk history, you also talk the expectations and the quality here on the field. Very clear handball right there, Kavanaugh.
Espinal has been incisive lately, wins the free kick, and a chance to get the Cosmos back into this one. Who's going to take it, though? Garcia the one placing it. Espinal is still there trying to convince him. 3 in the wall for Cabo Donso. Now Neeskens thinks it benefits him the most. It's Garcia, and he sends it to the trees.
That about sums up the night for Cosmos B. They've done so well in so many facets of the game, but just key breakdowns defensively for this team, and offensively in the final third. They had those opportunities with Bartley early in the first half and those opening 10, 12 minutes to really put the game on their terms. Just haven't been able to do it. Movement off, passing off, not being in sync. Defensively, being pulled apart at key times, and a Motown team that struggled to put away Baltimore last week, not getting those final 2 goals into the last few minutes of the match. This weekend have come out here and really taken their chances very well.
Cronus gets it forward. Kavanaugh to Duca. Will bring it backward and maintain a little bit of possession. Matt Nigro finds Kavanaugh in space on the left. Katona was the only real target. Halfhill able to read that. We should mention Westchester United, team that beat Motown in the regular season, handed them their only loss, tied them twice in knockout situations, beat Motown in the Region 1 Amateur Cup playoffs, but lost to them in the NPSL Keystone Conference Final.
A little bit of frustration there from Danny Jatella, just really kind of laying into a couple of the teammates. The movements, no one's making themselves available to the ball.
Handball called the other way. That's against Villela, who's now the left back.
Just very stale from the Cosmos. I think that's surprising given their goal output so far this year. And even a couple playoff games where they've struggled, they've gone down early. There's still been those hints of that team that's a quality side. A team that I thought coming into this match, Jonathan, was the more talented team, was the team that deserved to be the #1 seed here in the Northeast region. And I know there's going to be a lot of hand-wringing and kind of everything that goes on if this result holds up, but I think it's a team that, as you mentioned, it's a younger team. While it does have the Jatellas and Garcias and Barajos and Neeskens and those types of players, there is an exciting young component to this team when you look at Bartley and Brown and Espinal and a lot of young players who have come into their own this year. We know the Cosmos are going to be back next year, and I think they've got a good core nucleus to build around.
Katona comes off in the 77th minute, replaced by 24-year-old Lucas Terci out of Union High School in New Jersey and Division III Montclair State.
A fantastic educational university.
He had the game-tying goal, the 88th minute against Westchester United in that conference final. Otherwise, Motown would have been the wild card, and those semifinals on Wednesday would have looked very different.
And Terci's a player who spent the past 2 years with New York Red Bulls too in preseason.
Not rostered, but
not rostered, correct. But in preseason has been getting some look, has impressed. Not quite sure if his style and work rate fits that team, but a very talented individual player. Showed that for Montclair State and has shown that throughout this year.
Wind does seem to be in Motown's favor in this half. Really knocked down the last distribution by Tainho. I don't know about that offside call, but it's a flag up against Jalen Brown and a free kick for Motown as the clock dwindles on the Cosmos season.
And Julius James, the veterans there, is going to take as much time. It's going to end up being Danso. So doing wisely there just to turn up valuable moments.
Another chance for Motown, maybe. Punched away by Tainho, but the rebound fired over. That could have put the icing on the cake. Another sub for Motown, and here's a look back at the chance from Calderon, who already has 1 goal, and you would have put your, well, not your house, but you would have put something on Duca scoring there.
I would have put your house.
Of course.
The deluxe apartment in the sky.
Nieskin subbed out and not happy about it. Believe it's Joey Sanchez who came in for the Cosmos. For Motown, Calderon will make way. And that is Matt Jeffrey coming on with 10 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Here's Barajo. Motown so confident now with the 3-goal lead. And obviously you're able to play differently and just destroy things rather than have to create. James got away with one there. Jatella with a late foul. He's really getting into it. And it's about time Danny Jatella gets the yellow card. Miami FC 2 has completed its run through the South region, so that'll be one of the 4 teams in the NPSL National Semifinals. Duluth FC out of Minnesota continues to lead in Ann Arbor, early second half, 3-2 in the Midwest region final that's going on right now. Right here, probably a surprise throughout most of the country. FC Motown with a 3-0 lead on the New York Cosmos B. Bartley trying to turn out of trouble. Everyone ready to go forward now for the Cosmos. They have to get the ball up there first. Here's Jatella.
Look how far back Bartley's having to go, almost to his own midfield line, to be able to retrieve and get any kind of touches on the ball. It's been a very frustrating night for the talented 20-year-old.
Espinal's through ball finds Jalen Brown. Cross blocked away by Emerson Lawrence and cleared by Reardon. Just enough on the defensive side of the ball for Motown tonight. Garcia and Jatella. Top of the box, almost fell to Bartley, but Julius James able to clear. This is Penzini with Barajo well forward. Cosmos have faced teams that have sat deep against them all season, but not for this reason. Joey Sanchez. Bartley trying to spin, gets it away with the left foot, and Danso on the slick turf just got to it with the left hand.
And Danso doing a nice job there, not only with the initial save, but making sure he didn't spill. Wet ball, wet turf. Actually hasn't had a touch on the ball for quite a while. But Cosmos, again, a little bit better. Bartley doing some hard work to get any type of separation. 6-7 players sitting there on top of the 18-yard box for Motown, making space very frustrating for the Cosmos.
Let's say, I write down big chances. That was the first one in 65 minutes for the Cosmos since the 17th minute that I had noted, at least. Motown's goals may have come on the counter the first two, penalty kick the third, but well taken in the final third. Joey Sanchez is flagged for being offside.
I spoke with Julius James in the parking lot before the match, and he said that he's beaten the Cosmos far more than he's lost to them. Looks like that trend might be continuing tonight.
San Antonio Scorpions in the NASL postseason. On a rainy night at Columbia. I think it's the first playoff game Rocco Commisso has been able to attend. And it's not going to apparently have the ending he was expecting or hoping for.
Well, he's going to be a very important part of this Cosmos and the rebranding and the building here. I mean, Commisso's someone, we know his passion. We know what he wants to see from this. He wants to see the Cosmos at a very high level. I think you have to give an awful lot of credit. This may not have been the exciting move to go into the NPSL and play here, but to build up a young team, essentially a reserve team, bring up back, players like a Chatella and bring in a Garcia and some of the other names there. How important this is for the Cosmos, wherever they may be playing next year, to really keep that pipeline going, to keep the young players to remain relevant. I'm sure that this was a move that may not have paid off at the box office for Commisso, but is going to be important for the Cosmos decades down the road.
Duca on the run to Emerson Lawrence. Keeps it on that side with Duca. Garcia finally got into a challenge on him and won it. Yeah, I mean, ticket proceeds going to charity. So it's not done to make money this year. And whatever happens, you said it as an understatement, Rocco Commisso is going to be ultra important going forward.
Well, he's passionate about the sport, the growth of the sport, seeing the sport develop the right way, and churning out young players.
Jalen Brown into the penalty area, wants to be on the right foot. The shot was deflected away. Corner kick again for the Cosmos.
And I think Commisso makes some great points when you talk about youth development, doing things the right way. Academy setups, everything that he has in place here with the Cosmos and envisions doing forward, especially in light of the World Cup failure. I think Commisso's comments certainly ring true.
Joey Sanchez delivers the corner kick. That time Donso had to hold up. Motown able to clear, and Duca just bangs it toward the Columbia logo. Again, Motown or the Cosmos, but at this point, Motown, the heavy favorite in the game, would be the top seed in the national semifinals. All of those region finals will wrap up tonight, so by the end of the night, we will know who should be visiting where for the semifinals next Saturday, July 28th, with the NPSL final to follow a week later in August. Zaire Bartley finally going to make way. What a postseason for him, a breakout for the 20-year-old.
And this is not a deserving end to the season for Bartley. Someone who struggled really to see some playing time throughout the regular season, but when he got those opportunities, when injuries to Bartic and some other key players, when he took the field, he took his chances.
Ivan Bertarame on for New York. Been an energy sub in that forward spot all year. Combination play, again read by Julius James. Barajo sends it in. Donso punches. A lot of body contact there. But Motown gets it out for the substitute, Terzi. Switch. Didn't get enough on it. Villela broke it up for New York. Well read. He'll get into the attack now. Jalen Brown couldn't bring that down. The flag was up anyway. Cosmos have been offside time after time tonight.
But just too slow from the Cosmos there. They win the ball over at midfield. They've got numbers. They take it out wide and they kind of play around on the ball rather than moving forward. And then the final pass, the final touch, rather unimaginative there into Brown. think there might be some celebrations tonight at a Billy Walsh pub somewhere in Morristown, Jonathan.
Oh boy. Dilly Duca on the run. Chipping. Too high for everybody. I just want them to get home in one piece and make it to downtown Motown.
Well, for those who don't know, Billy Walsh, former Metro Stars player, I think 1 or 2 caps with the U.S. national team, owns, I think, about 90% of the liquor licenses in Morristown. So a very savvy businessman who's probably sitting in a Scrooge McDuck-like bin of gold right now.
Halfhill gets that away for Penzini. 2 minutes plus stoppage time likely remaining in the Cosmos B season. Beaten in the Open Cup by the Brooklyn Italians way back in May. 13 games unbeaten since then. As Jaylen Brown attacks and sends it over everybody. They may taste defeat again after a couple of close calls. This is not abnormal for them to make a game difficult, but again, hadn't faced a 2-goal deficit.
And that match against the Brooklyn Italians, maybe a little bit of a harbinger of what we saw tonight. Cosmos dominating play, long stretches of possession, their opportunities on goal. Really could have been a match where that scoreline could have been flipped and very accurately represented how the Cosmos played. Tonight, though, I think you got to give Motown a certain level of credit. They came in, they kept their defensive shape overall, and then they hit on the counter effectively. And as the game opened up, they were willing to stay and commit some numbers forward to keep the Cosmos honest.
They try to spring Tercy long. Kevin Tainho out to meet it for New York. Just has to play it to midfield, though. It'll be a Motown throw-in. Right in front of that trophy they're going for. And just minutes away from taking back to the Garden State. As the Clarkstown Eagles, they've fallen twice at this stage. 2015 to the Cosmos B, 2018 to the Elm City Express. Not a lot of holdover from 2015, but plenty guys back from last year. And a chance to go to the national semifinals. Well over the top from Espinal.
I think it's going to be a good opportunity now this offseason for Cosmos B. Do a little bit of soul searching, look and see what they want to do and how they want to build this team. I think they need to get a little bit faster. They've certainly got the technical players. I think this offseason a priority has to be searching for a true number 10 type to pull the strings in the midfield. But they've got an academy system. They have young players. There's a lot of young talent here in this market. Certainly when you look at the Red Bulls and NYCFC Academy, but there's going to be plenty of talent on Long Island and perhaps those overlooked by the MLS sides that could really filter through and be an asset, I think, for a team that needs to continue to stay young in terms of their ambitions.
Dave Nigro, brother of Matt, comes on in stoppage time, replacing Chris Reardon. We're into 3 minutes of stoppage time. On what's going to be the biggest night in this young club's history. 5 straight Garden State Soccer League titles, the Keystone Conference, regular season and playoff titles, and now the Northeast Region Championship to Northern New Jersey. Bertarame shoots and hits it from distance. Fantastic goal in stoppage time. It's a consolation for the Cosmos, but they're not dead yet.
Well, a little too late for the Cosmos, but what a wonder strike right there. Maybe the best goal we've seen this postseason. Great individual effort there from the Cosmos now in stoppage time. About 2 minutes left. Let's see if maybe the Cosmos can draw one more back.
Turn and hit, and what a hit it was.
I think most impressive about that, Jonathan, that was in the face of a pretty stiff wind right now, blowing from right to left.
He only played 39 minutes in the regular season, had 1 goal, and he made the most of his short time on the field tonight. A comeback now would be a fairy tale. 3-1 now in stoppage time. Free kick for the Cosmos. Halfhill and the others go up. Espinal is the man to deliver it. And they have to score, but they have to hurry as well. Espinal delivers low, near post, skips through everybody, loose, and knocked in by Bertarame again at the back post. Game on, it's 3-2 in stoppage time.
Well, you talked about a fairy tale, Jonathan. This might just be a skipping ball, wet conditions there towards the back post, the right way to do it from Espinal. Coolly finished there on the back post.
Wow. We can't tell you how much time's left on the clock or on the referee's watch.
But Bertarame there with the brace and inside stoppage time.
And the Cosmos' urgency is finally what maybe it could have been minutes ago. 3-2, deep into stoppage time. Garcia forward. Halfhill is up there. Handball called. Free kick coming to the Cosmos. Could it all fall apart in stoppage time for Motown? This would be unreal. Point blank free kick. Again, put it on target and low. You can get a rebound with this turf and this rain.
And last time Garcia had a set piece from here, skied it over. Doesn't look like it's going to be him taking this one.
Espinal had the shot that Danso saved on the previous free kick that Bertarame scored. It's Espinal again. Darwin Espinal over the wall. Danso knocks it away. The rebound is wide of the net. Offside flag was up anyway. And that is full time. What a finish as the Cardiac Cosmos almost come all the way back from a 3-goal deficit in stoppage time. But it's FC Motown celebrating a region title. Cabo Danso, the last-second hero.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about, I know, how big of a moment this is for FC Motown, but what resilience and backbone from the Cosmos here to battle back the way that they did in stoppage time. You talk about something to build on heading into next year, not trying to look at this with rose-colored glasses, but that was a good backbone. I think that points really to Carlos Mendez, the head coach of the Cosmos, with what he's instilled in this team, the character, the backbone.
Wow. What a finish. Ivan Bertarame off the bench scores twice in stoppage time, and then Espinal forced a save from Cabo Danso on that free kick, and a difficult one. I mean, we don't have a height on him, but he's a big dude, and he was at full stretch to get down to his left. And having the 30-year-old Gambian in net turns out to be a critical difference for Motown, which led this thing 3-0.
Yeah, and Danso, who we talked about with Lansdowne Boys and what he's meant to that team and their runs through the early rounds of the Open Cup and the Amateur Cup. He's been such a rock back there. Real game-changer addition for FC Motown, standing up a couple times now in the second half to preserve this upset victory for the upstart NPSL side out of Morristown.
All the goals coming in the second half in this one, 0-0 at halftime. It had been pretty even, and we were treated to an explosion at times in this second half. Here we go back to the first goal. Katona's cross misplayed by Niskins. Walter Calderon, the finish. That was in the 53rd minute for Motown.
Yeah, against the run of play. And Katona and Calderon kind of combining there with the pressure, and Calderon with that goal. Going to be that pivotal moment against the run of play. And Katona here being sent in a run, dissecting the two center backs, takes a touch, carries him into the 18-yard box. Really cool finish from somebody who you've referred to, and FC Motown's referred to as the best amateur goal scorer in the area.
In the country, Motown would call him. And then Katona with the leave. Daryl Kavanaugh taken down by Garrett Halfhill. It was a no-doubt penalty kick, even though Penzini says it was a dive.
And Dilla Verduca stepping up there, as he's done so many times this year. I think you can make an argument he might be the most valuable player in the NPSL. Certainly is for FC Motown.
This was the play. Started with Kavanaugh, came back to him off the boot of Katona, and then down he went for what turned out to be the decisive goal. It was 3-0, and it carried that way into stoppage time. Cosmos couldn't create much, and then Ivan Bertarame, hello!
Bertarame, that first goal right there, I think you could probably say that should be a candidate for goal of the year. Certainly goal of the playoffs, coming off the bench the way that he did. You talked about him, a player who really hasn't factored in to the Cosmos this year, striking that one upper 90. Nothing there that Danzo could do about it. And then Espinal on this free kick. Right idea in these conditions, wet, slippery. FC Motown saying that there was an offsides there. I think that Bertarame timed his run there at the back post, did a good job right there. You talk about building blocks for next year. I think this guy made a pretty big statement that, hey, play me a little more next year.
And the Cosmos, here you go back at Espinal delivering, and Bertarame with the tip in. Cosmos got one more free kick deep into stoppage time, and there you just saw the end of it as Danzo had to save from Espinal's free kick right in the middle of the field, and Joey Sanchez could only turn the rebound into the side netting, and that was the final action of the game as Moton held on to win it 3-2, and they are still jumping up and down in disbelief, in relief, and in ecstasy at winning the NPSL's Northeast Region Championship.
And I think this is certainly a result that not a lot of people thought was going to happen. New York Cosmos coming in the way that they did throughout this season, playing at home so effectively. They like that quick passing and the interchanges, just really kind of bogged down in the midfield. Very frustrating night for one of the most storied franchises in U.S. soccer.
Here's a look at some of the hardware that'll be handed out. That's no joke for a region championship trophy. That thing is big. That's going to Morris County, New Jersey, FC Motown. 3-2 winners over the New York Cosmos B, holding on in dramatic fashion. They will be the #1 seed in the NPSL's semifinals at a national level. Miami FC 2 will be there. And we'll wait and see who comes out of the Midwest and West. Sachi Hott in the green cap, the young head coach of FC Motown. He's only 27. Dilly Duca to his left, putting on the scarf right now.
Introducing the 2018 NPSL Northeast Region Champion, FC Motown.
And Dilly Duca, rightly taking that trophy right there, has been so much to this team. Big year for Dilly Duca. Twins hopping on board into his family, recently married, choosing to stay home and play for the Morristown-based club, and Dan Carrison and Oliver Papernuco, meaning so much to this team, the organization, the backbone of this team. I think it's been a tremendous first year for this side, and I think something to build on. They've got a great facility they play in, great talent pool. They're obviously committed to making sure that they're doing this thing and building it the right way.
Great season for the New York Cosmos B. They come up short in the Northeast Region Final. Thanks so much for joining us all season long. For everyone involved in our broadcast, the great crew here at Columbia battling the elements tonight. For Sal Rosamilia, our partner on Other Games, for Christian Dyer, I'm Jonathan Yardley. Thanks so much for joining us. The final score tonight, FC Motown 3, the New York Cosmos B 2. FC Motown moves on to the NPSL semifinals. Motown, the Northeast Region champions.